Peace, peace, peace. My name is Tia Camille, and well, first I'd like to welcome you and thank you for being here. Um, I have been doing vision board workshops off and on for years and years, and I'm particularly excited about this one. So, what I'm presenting here essentially is are some slides that I had put together for a virtual 8 week um, vision board workshop that I offered a few years ago. And so I've condensed it a bit and really just kept the things that um, you can pretty much do on your own, essentially. And I would also like to say that creating your vision, whether that's through vision board or vision booking or whatever tools you like to put together to envision what you want for yourself, does not have to be something that you do in the new year. Okay? It You can do this anytime. I mean, anytime. If you have a thought, a desire that you want to come to fruition, um, you can build out a vision for that through whatever means you want at any point. So you don't have to wait until the new year or the beginning of the month or the beginning of the week or a particular day. Like you can start doing that right now. Okay. So let's get into it. Master Manifesting, this is the name of the course or workshop. It's essentially a more intentional approach to creating your vision. Um, the reason I created this in the first place was just because I like to do things with more intention. And so I imagine that other people like to do things with more intention. And what I mean by that is I I need something more than, I guess, more in depth and substantial than cutting out pictures of out of a magazine and pasting them to a surface and saying, "This is my vision." I actually like something that's more structured, more intentional, that will speak to the different aspects of my life, and I can look at it and it's presented in a more organized way. Um, some people like, a jumble of things, and there's nothing wrong with that. This this method is simply a little bit more intentional. And before we even get into cutting out things from magazines and stuff like that, we're actually going to get clear about what it is that we want, right? We're going to get clear about what our vision is. So, master manifesting, a more intentional approach to creating your vision. What I'm offering here is some very gentle, minimal guidance, and hopefully some sustainable tools for you to use to manifest the life that you want. What you'll need for this practice, you'll need a board or and magazine. So you can use a bulletin board, a foam board, or whatever you want to use as the base for your vision board. If you are doing a book, we can I can do something I can put together something separate for people who would prefer a book, honestly. This particular offering is for folks who are using a board, whether that's a bulletin board, a foam board, poster board, or whatever. Um, so, in addition to whatever you're going to use as the base of your board, you need to have an assortment of magazines, so you can choose pictures, words, and phrases that align with your vision, and maybe even some hand drawn illustrations of what you want as well. Um, you also need designated space. So, find a space that is free of clutter, where you can sit and breathe and write comfortably. And since we will be doing some writing, you definitely want a notebook or journal to complete a few of, to complete the writing exercises. Um, and then you need a writing instrument, right? So marker, pen, colored pencils, whatever you want to use as your writing instrument for doodling and sketching and writing, have those things available and handy. So, in the spirit of being very intentional about uh, crafting your vision, illustrating your vision, putting it together, I would like to offer this gentle reminder to not feel like you are racing against the clock. Take your time throughout this process. It may take a few hours and it also may take days, right? This is something that you can do at your own pace. It's very, very important to create a clear vision of what you want. It's a sacred self love practice and it's something that takes time and care. So, taking your time, um, you will move through the practice intentionally cultivating a life vision that is truly in alignment with what you need and desire. So please, please, please take your time with this. This is not something to take lightly and not something to rush through. Your vision deserves time and effort. Okay? All right. So, what I'm introducing here is the idea or practice of actually cultivating a vision board using Feng Shui methodology, right? The Feng Shui method of creating a vision board offers an organizing, all encompassing approach to the process by applying Feng Shui principles. I love the intentionality of this particular method. So, by the end of this practice, you will have created your own Feng Shui board or vision board as a guide to keep you tethered to your aspirations towards liberation. So here it is, and I'll be showing this particular slide with the the chart of your feng shui vision board throughout. So yeah, so you'll be able to refer to it at different points throughout this offering. Um, but here it is, and so when you are looking at the feng shui vision board, each category is going in that particular part or place on the board. Does that make sense? So, wealth and abundance is going to be in the upper left hand corner of your board. Then there's fame and reputation, center top or top center. Then right upper corner is love and relationships. And it just follows like that, right? So each aspect of your life will take up space in a particular place in the board, on the board. All right. So, all right, let's get clear about what you want. Um, Before you get started with cutting out magazines and stuff like that, let's take a few moments to meditate on what it is that you want. Think about what you want for yourself, not what others want for you or what you think you should want. What kind of life do you want to create? And here I encourage you to pause this presentation so that you can just kind of like meditate on that, right? And then when you are done meditating on what it is that you want, you'll take out your notebook, you will grab your writing instrument, and begin to make a list of everything you want to be. So, here are some tips for writing your B list. Number one, take your time, be as specific as possible, be as thorough as possible, and try not to judge your list. Um, Again, pause here, take time to write your list, or actually, we'll go to the next slide. Now you will pause, cue some music, set a timer for 5 to 10 minutes, and begin to write your list of everything that you want to be. And I also want to note that you don't have to feel pressured to rush to list all of your B items right now. You can come back to this list, add to it, revise it as often as you want. You can come back to it at any time. And I am providing a link to one of my playlists, or maybe actually a couple of playlists now that I'm thinking about it, that you can choose from to use as like your writing inspiration music. All right. So go ahead, set that timer, 5 to 10 minutes, um, pause this presentation, and come back whenever you're ready. All right, so you have written your B list or started writing your B list of everything that you want to be. Um, as the timer is going off or has gone off, start to wrap up. Notice any thoughts or emotions that have come up during your practice. Um, any any things that maybe circle the things that you felt particularly excited about, right? Like when you thought of it and wrote it down, it elicited an a reaction, a feeling of excitement or joy or oh man, if that happens, that would be so great, right? Um, so yeah, notice any feelings of discomfort even that may have come up as you were writing your list and maybe jot down some notes about that. All right, so step two is writing your do list. This is a list of everything that you want to do. When you are writing your do list, of course, you'll take your time. You'll be as specific as possible, be as thorough as possible. Try not to judge your list and list the audacious and seemingly trivial things that you want to do, right? It could be something small, whatever feels small, right? Like, I want to start meditating for 2 minutes every day, right? Or it could be something really big and audacious. I want to save $20,000 by the end of the year. Whatever it is, right? Whatever feels trivial in between and super audacious. Write down all the things that you want to do and try not to judge your list and take your time. I know I said those things before, but I think it's worth repeating. So maybe you'll breathe and visualize what you want for a bit. Maybe that's taking in a deep inhale right now, filling up the belly and lungs through the nose, and sighing it out of the mouth. Go ahead and set your timer for 5 to 10 minutes. Excuse me. And cue your music. Feel free to pause here or on the next slide. And remember that you can always come back to revise this list whenever you want. All right, so your timer has gone off. You can start wrapping up, maybe address any thoughts and emotions that have come up during this exercise, just like you did after you wrote your B list. And then we'll move on. Or you can pause, take notes, everything you need to do. Then you'll come to step three, which is writing your have list. This is a list of everything that you want to have. Here are some tips for writing your have list. You'll take your time, of course, be as specific as possible, be as thorough as possible, try not to judge your list, and include any material and non material wants that you want to have, right? Um, and so, non material or intangible things could be peace. I want to have peace, right? Something tangible could be I would like a new car. And if it's a new car, be as specific as possible. If there's a particular car you want or um, things that you want, all the bells and whistles you want in the car, write all of those things down. Remember, we're being as specific and as thorough as possible. So as you prepare to work or write, um, perhaps you do some grounding breath work here as well. That could be taking deep breaths, okay? Tuning into the breath, right? Go ahead and set your timer for 5 to 10 minutes. Remember, you don't have to feel pressured to write all of your have items right now. You can always come back to it and revise and add to it as needed. Feel free to pause here, and then when your timer goes off, you'll come back and we'll check in and wrap up. So, timer sounds, wrap up, perhaps acknowledge any thoughts, emotions that have come up for you. Take note of those things. Pause if you need to take note, and then we'll move on to the next thing. So now it's time for the vision, and you'll begin to put together your vision board using the Feng Shui method, right? And here you'll start to focus on the three areas and aspects of your life. So the first three are right across the top. They're going to be wealth and abundance, fame and reputation, love and relationships. Now, this is where you start to go through your list and see which things fit into each aspect or each category. So you're moving through your list, you're picking the the things that fit in wealth and abundance. Then you're picking the things that fit into fame and reputation and social life. Then you're picking the things that fit into love and relationships. Okay? And I would like to take a few moments to just talk a bit about the first three aspects, the different attributes that each one has. So for wealth and abundance, your focus is on gratitude and self worth, right? We always want to be in a practice of gratitude. And we want to be clear about the things that we actually deserve, right? What we feel worthy of. And I would like to say that you are worthy of anything that you want, okay? You deserve all of the things that you want. You don't need permission. You are worthy of them simply because you exist, not because you have to earn it, right? Moving on, the element of wealth and abundance is wood, which kind of makes sense. Grounding, yeah, grounding, stable, uh, reliable. I like that. Um, the season of wealth and abundance is late spring. Colors are purple and gold. For fame, reputation, and social life, the focus is recognition and integrity. Whew, yes. How are you recognized out here in community? And are you moving with integrity? Are you moving as a person who um, keeps their word, as a person that um, holds themselves accountable and also doesn't mind being held accountable in community? The element of fame, reputation, and social life is fire. It's season, early summer, colors, red. For love and relationships, the focus is love of self and others. Ooh, yes. Ah, heart chakra energy work. Its element is earth, season, late summer, colors, pink, warm, earth tones. Okay? So pink and warm earth tones are the colors of love and relationships. Here are some questions that maybe you can ask as you are considering what you will put in the first three aspects of your feng shui vision board. Um, so I'll just read through a few from each category. For wealth and abundance, maybe the question you ask is, what do these terms mean to you? What does wealth and abundance mean and look like for you? How would you like for wealth and abundance to show up in your life? When you're looking at your be, do, and have list, you can circle the things, maybe in purple and gold, that speak to wealth and abundance, right? For fame and reputation and social life, what impact would you like to have on the world around you? What would you like your reputation to be? And of course, what words from your list capture how you want to be seen and remembered? Love and relationships. Ooh, I didn't include commercials, so kind of ignore that. That's actually something for a more in depth presentation. But definitely be clear about the types of connections you want to have with others. Be clear about the connection that you would like to have with yourself. So feel free to pause here, of course, go through these questions, capture or pick the words from your list that fall into line. And then when you're ready, you can breathe a bit, deep cleansing breath in through the nose, sigh it out of the mouth, and reflect on any thoughts or emotions that came up for you. Move on to the next slide when you're ready. Start to gather your materials, right? And pull out the things that fall into alignment with the first three categories. Then, when you're ready, you'll move through to the next three areas and aspects of your life: new beginnings and family, health and centering, children and legacy. So the second row on the Feng Shui vision board, you'll start to think about those things, and then three things at a time, begin to move through, right? First, let me go back. I'm sorry. Um, let's let's just talk a little bit about each one. So, new beginnings and family. The focus is family and ancestral healing. The element is wood. The season is early spring. Color green. For health and centering, the focus is overall well-being, right? Looking at what wellness looks like holistically, all the aspects of health. The element is earth. Its colors are yellow and earth tone. Children and legacy. So this doesn't have to necessarily be actually having children. This could be um, what you birth, like in terms of ideas and stuff. So I'll use myself as an example. I do not have children. I do not aspire to have children at this point in my life ever. um, and so my focus is on the ideas that I want to bring to fruition, right? Um, Big and small ideas fit in here. So the focus for this particular aspect of your life is creative expression and joy. Okay. Element metal. The season is early fall. Colors would be white and pastel colors. Okay. So coming back to this, three things at a time. New beginnings and family. What does family mean to you? What beliefs or traditions have you inherited from your family? I would also like to point out the last question. Have you identified any areas where ancestral healing is needed? This could also encompass like ancestral veneration practices, right? The ways that you honor your ancestors. Um, Maybe something that you want to incorporate is your like having some sort of altar space or shrine, some sort of way to honor your ancestors in a sustainable, um, consistent way. Um, and of course, you're looking through your list to see what things may apply to this particular aspect. When you're ready, you'll move on to health and centering. Some questions to consider. What are your wellness goals? In what ways will you cultivate wellness for yourself? The same goes for children and legacy. There, this is another place where your commercial would go if we were doing commercials. We aren't here. Um, what legacy will you leave behind? What do you want your want or do you want to have? Do you want or have children? What do you want? Um, what do you want those after you to inherit from you um, when you pass and are no longer in this realm? So again, you're going to refer to your list, your be, do, and have list, pull the things that apply to each aspect, and then breathe and reflect a bit, right? And then begin to gather your materials. So you'll go through your magazines and other materials and pull out the things that fit into those particular categories, right? Then, when you're ready, begin to move towards um, figuring out the what you want to go for the last three aspects. So here you have knowledge and wisdom, or wisdom and knowledge. You have career and life journey, and then travel and helpful people. So, wisdom and knowledge, the focus is personal development. Its element is earth. Its season is late winter. Its colors are blues and greens, right? Personal development. Um, think about things that you want to study. I'll use myself as an example. I um, want to read more consistently, and I want to get back into more in depth studies of yogic philosophy um, and yoga practice. And I also want to take some time to learn more about art history um, and uh, particular skills that will help me develop more in my creative and artistic practice, right? So think about the things that you would like to incorporate, skills that you would like to hone, new hobbies, classes that you want to take, that kind of thing. For career and life journey, the focus is purpose. Its element is water. Its season is early winter. And the colors of this particular aspect are dark blue and black. So think about where you want to go in your career. For me, I would think about um, places where I would like to show my artwork. Also, thinking about different programs that I want to develop to be able to offer to folks. I'm also thinking about the impact that I want to make in my career as well. Um, for travel and helpful people, the focus is support and adventure. Element is metal. Season is late fall, and its colors are gray tones. So for travel and helpful people, these are your mentors. This is the people that you look up to, whether you know them or if they're famous, people that you see as role models or examples of what you would like to cultivate and manifest for yourself. Travel, of course, is the places you want to go to, right? So moving on, this is when you begin to move through your list as you're asking yourself some questions, picking out the things that from your list that could go under each aspect. So for knowledge and for wisdom and self knowledge, um, questions to ask are there particular classes or workshops you want to take? What knowledge do you wish to attain? What are some skills that you wish to gain or are seeking? For career, what does your current career look like? Is it your dream career? What path does your dream career look like? What does the path to your dream career look like, right? Um, for travel and helpful people, do you have dream travel destinations? If so, where are they? And who would you travel with? Also, think about who are the people you admire and or consider to be mentors. Who are the people who support you in your life, career endeavors, etc. Then reflect, reflect, reflect. Start to cut up some magazines, pulling again, gathering your materials, the things that fit into those last three categories. Then continue to breathe, reflect, write, visualize, cut up some more magazines. And you can start uh, gluing your stuff to your board whenever you're ready. And be mindful. So remember how on each board, each each section or each aspect of your life has particular colors associated with it. So also think about incorporating those colors for each aspect, right? So when you are doing your health and centering, let's say it's in the middle of your board, that's its placement. Um, you're going to incorporate maybe some photos or a photo of yellow flower, or maybe you paint or cut out things that have earth tones, right? Just or maybe just painting um, on the board itself, or coloring with a colored pencil some earth tones. So think about different ways you can also incorporate the colors that are associated with each um, aspect, right? And yeah, so that's pretty much it. From here, feel free to work on your board, move at your own pace. Don't feel rushed, of course. Um, you can go through the slides to revisit things. Um, and then as you're practicing or as you finish up, I would love to hear your feedback. I would love to hear what you thought about the process. If you have questions, what um, feedback or takeaways you may have. Um, and do you think this should be a more in depth workshop? And what I mean by that is because this is just like a presentation. I totally unscripted, if you couldn't tell, and pretty quick. Um, a workshop could be longer for sure if we're like really setting timers and moving through things at a slower pace with more people involved. A workshop could be virtual, it could also be something that's done in person. Like both of those things are possible. Also, honestly, I spread this out through the first time I did it, it was an 8 week offering. And it was offered virtually and live. So in real time, we were meeting up on a particular day of the week at a particular time every single week for 8 weeks, and really got more in depth, and there was more opportunity for folks to share and get feedback and stuff like that. Um, so yeah, I would love your input around whether or not this could or should be a, an actual workshop or offering where I'm offering more in depth guidance. Um, so yeah, that's it. Be sure to subscribe to my blog for other resources and other offerings. Um, and before this completely ends, um, I want to thank you again for being here. Um, I invite you to take one more deep cleansing breath with me. So in through the nose, fill up the belly and lungs. Sigh it out of the mouth. Yes. Again, thank you for being here. My name is Tia Camille. Um, as always, I wish you peace, love, balance, and eternal liberation. Peace.